Let's compare the Kajabi default course template with a third-party template like Nexus. They both work, but they suit a different purpose. Let me show you where these differences really matter. On the left, we have the Kajabi default template. It is called Premiere and it is immediately installed on every course you create. The Premiere template is built to showcase your lessons, but it is not built to respond to your student needs. Every student will see the same every time they come into this course. On the right, you see Nexus, and Nexus is built to give every student a personalized learning experience. It has a modern look and it is very flexible to showcase your content. And you can highlight the content that is important for them today. Difference number one, the first impression your student gets. In the default Kajabi template, it has a clean look. I agree to that, but it's a long list of all the lessons and the student doesn't know where to begin. On top of these lessons, you can put a welcome video here, just on top of this. But every time they come back, they will see that welcome video over and over again. And that's nice for the first time and maybe the second time they enter your course. But when they have been to your course for 15 times, they don't need to see that welcome video anymore. The default template doesn't have a clear navigation. It just shows the lessons and you can click through to the lessons and you need to come back to this page to find your other lesson. On top of your screen you have your basic navigation towards your other products or your other pages on your website, and they might not need this in your course when they are learning. When you use the Nexus template, they will get a different first impression. On top of this, there's a hero section with a welcome text. And we decided to place this text in here, and after they've watched a few lessons, this text will disappear. They don't see it forever and ever. Then there is a first collection, as we call it. It's called Start Here, and it tells them to watch these videos. They're not allowed to cherry pick through all the lessons. They need to start here because this gives the onboarding video and they know how to install the template and they know where to find the settings. On the left we have the sidebar with the navigation where they can go to the home, to the lessons. With a drop down, they can find their favorites, the downloads, the community. They can interact with the chatbot agent and they can find the help they need in this course. The Nexus templates help your student to understand where to begin, what to do next, and how to finish your course more easily. Difference number two, the lesson experience. In the default Kajabi, the video window is pretty small and there is a panel with all the lessons on the right side of it showing the lessons in this module. If you want to navigate through your course, you need to go to the breadcrumbs and select the module or maybe go to your dashboard homepage again. At the bottom there's a large Mark is complete button. People can click this and they do not watch the lesson. Although the content is there, it doesn't really work for your student. In the Nexus template, you have the option to resize the video screen. So here it's about 80% of the screen. You can make it larger or smaller if you want. On the left side you still have the navigation panel and you can find the lesson where you are immediately with all the other lessons, and you can click through your navigation pretty simple. Instead of a big Mark is complete button, there's an action bar on top of it. And here you can favorite your lesson. You can also mark it as complete. Sure, it's there. You have badges you have earned in this course and you can navigate to the next lesson. On top of the screen is your lesson title. You have the breadcrumbs, so it's also easy to navigate from here. Difference number three, how to manage large content courses or maybe large content memberships. With the default Kajabi template, you will get a long list of all your lessons. And this isn't even a huge course. This is about 30-40 lessons. But what if you have 500 lessons? This list would be huge. It's not a way to present your courses. With the Premiere template, you can just show category thumbnails and then they will see the thumbnail for welcome to Nexus or settings or heading and sidebar slider. They need to click that button, then they will see all the lessons, then they can go to the lessons. The Premiere template is not built for huge content courses. With the Nexus template, you decide what you want to show. In our template here, we start with an onboarding collection. And these are 3 hand-picked lessons from our outline. And we just place them here on top, and when they have watched these lessons, they are gone. Below, you will find the outline. And in this outline, we decided to show 4 videos in a row. People can swipe through the videos like they used to do with their favorite streaming services. Also, you decide how many lessons are shown in one of these collections. I've seen modules with 100 lessons in just one module. With Nexus, you decide just to show 25 of them. When they have watched one of those lessons, that lesson is hidden, and then the next lesson comes to your module. So the module is constantly updated with the latest contents, not showing the lessons they already have seen. And this is probably one of the biggest conceptual differences between the Nexus template and the default Kajabi template. A template that follows your students' progress. Difference number 4. I told you that Nexus follows your students' progress. So let's see what happens to returning students. With the default template, people will always come to this screen, see the screen. They need to start here. They need to see where they have left off. They can follow these lines like it's the progress bar, or they can continue their course with the button here. But if they just want to see where am I, they need to scroll through all the lessons. With Nexus, we decided to have an onboarding screen here. So let me just take you through the onboarding screen. Let me go to the first lesson. They can watch the video, and when the lesson is finished, it will congratulate them by finishing this lesson. They can continue, or they can come back to the dashboard. Coming back to this dashboard, you see now that this banner just has 2 dots left because one lesson is taken away. So let me go to the next lesson. They can watch this lesson, see what's happening, or they can press the complete button and they will get the confetti pop up. And when they go back to their home page, you see there's only 1 lesson left in this Start Here onboarding. So let's go to the last one about the settings for this template. When they have watched the full lesson, they've completed it, and they come back to their homepage, you see there's no longer an onboarding. They see the tutorials immediately. Also, the welcome message on top is gone now. And if you want, you can place a different welcome message here. You can also show a different collection of lessons they need to watch now. You can also create collections, for example, seasonal actions or maybe specific topics you want to highlight this month. And you can just take the lessons from your course, place them in this collection. So they don't need to search for those lessons inside your course outline. Difference number 5. What about the stuff that's around your course? When you create a course, you'll probably have downloads, but you probably also want to have a community for people to ask questions. Maybe you want to use a chatbot. Where do you put them in those courses? With the default Kajabi template, you can put a community circle here on top or at the bottom of your course, and people need to scroll down to find that community circle. If you have a chatbot, you can have a floating button here. It's distracting your people from your course. With the Nexus template, we've created a sidebar, and this sidebar is your navigation panel. Let me just walk you through the sidebar. You have your lessons, and this is your outline. It follows the standard Kajabi outline. People can open the modules, close the modules, go to the lessons inside that module. But maybe people want to favorite a lesson and come back to that lesson. So we have created a favorite option, and this will bring them to the favorite page. This favorite page is populated by the lessons your students select themselves. So if they like a lesson, they can favorite it and it will be placed on the screen. If they don't want to have it as a favorite anymore, they can just click the little heart and it's no longer a favorite lesson. People can make their own selection with lessons that they really want to re-watch over and over again. Something else you will add to your courses are downloads. And normally in the Kajabi template, the downloads are added to the specific lessons. So people need to find those lessons. In Nexus, we have in the sidebar an option to download your content, as we call download templates. And this will bring them to a download page with the selected items for them. And every item here can be shown or hidden based on your students' progress. So you can show downloadable content that's available at some level in the course. They don't see it all the time, just when they hit the next level. We talked about connecting to the community, and I think it's very important for people to have those communities and courses integrated. It must be very easy for them to ask questions. So when you go to the sidebar and you ask the community circle pops up and people can ask their questions immediately inside the course, inside the lessons. They don't need to navigate to another tool, to another spot. It's just there for them to use. Also with the new feature, the agents, the Ask Our Jiffy Bot pops up a Jiffy Bot here, and it can answer all the questions about your specific course. The default template works extremely well if you just have a few lessons, but if you give a full experience with downloadable content, with rewards they want, with a community, with chatbot agents, with the Nexus, it's brought to one easy to navigate sidebar. Now we talked a bit about the experience. You probably have some good idea what Nexus can do compared with default template. So who is going to use which template? If you're just starting out, you have a small course, you can use the default template. It's probably a good fit. It just shows your lessons. It's not that fancy, but it will do the job. But if your courses are going to grow, if you have more content, if you want to give your students a great learning experience, if you want to build an experience that follows their progress, so they keep coming back, they love to work with your content, it's easy for them to navigate, to find the next lesson, to find their favorite content, to find the downloads, Nexus will be a no-brainer to you. So some practical questions. A Kajabi course is just an outline. You can place a template on top of that outline, like the Premiere template we have here. Inside your course you can go to Customize, and here you can install a template. You will find 7 templates provided by Kajabi, but if you look carefully you see that this Gamify Lite with Sidebar and Sunset are hero made, and these are built by Jiffy Course Online. That's us. And this one is built by Penny in Your Pockets. That's also a hero template. You will find the Gamify Lite templates immediately in your Kajabi account. Also, you will find the default Premiere template. You can install these templates for free, no problem. You can switch between them and learn and see what works best for you. But all these templates don't have that personalized learning experience Nexus is giving to you. For this you go to the Upload Template button and you will drag the Nexus template zip file just to your screen, and Kajabi will do the rest. It will be installed. Then you have your Nexus template on top of screen, and you can still use your own outline. It works as a shell. If you want to try out Nexus inside your course, you can download it for free. You can install it and you can play with it for 30 days. See how it works with your courses, how you can create that personalized experience for your students. Just go to jiffycoursesonline.com/Nexus. And here you will find all the information about this wonderful template. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and learn how this template can transform your existing Kajabi courses into a high-level student experience.